Hello, my gorgeous ones. Happy New Year. It is now 2023, and I hope that you guys had a lovely New Year's Eve. I hope that you didn't drink too much champagne. If you're feeling a little like, well, I hope that this will help relax you or at least get your mind off of drinking too much. And these earrings, I just noticed, kind of remind me of the ball. So it's very appropriate for the ball drop. But you guys, I am just so thankful for you. I want to say going into 2023, my channel has boomed for me in the last like several weeks, and I'm very, very grateful. And I wanted to share with you guys my favorite palettes of 2022. And even though it's now 2023, I say it's fine, you guys. Like, my motto in 2023 is going to be balance and also just relax. Like, if it's a day after, if it's not perfect, it's fine, you guys. It's fine. So I have 23 palettes here, which is a weird number, but is it? Because it's now 2023. So I should really probably have 22. But we're still just going to go with it, okay? Relax. But if you want to see what my top palettes of 2022 were, keep on watching. Okay, you guys, so I'm really excited to show these to you. I will say most of these did come out in 2022, and then a few were 2021, but I tried them in 2022. And actually, I'd say 20 of these are true. Like, I tried them several times. I know that they're at my top. Then 3 are kind of honorable mentions because I pretty much know that they would be at my top, but I only maybe use them one time. So it's kind of hard to say that they're a favorite, but I either already know the formula with other palettes or the brand, or I can just tell, like my gut tells me like this was a favorite. So let's go ahead and get started with the Copacetic Bookish Beauty palette. Now, this was a collaboration with Panda Replay on Instagram. She's really, really sweet. She loves Copacetic, so it was a perfect collab. And I just thought this was so pretty and so fun. And I'm actually a book nerd myself, or I used to be. I don't think I can really claim that anymore because I don't make time for it. That's probably something I should make time for in 2023. But anyway, I loved the cover art. I thought it was so cool. And then the color story, you guys, like, let's focus here. It is just stunning. You have beautiful shimmers in here that are so sparkly. I love Copacetic anyway. I have a bunch of their singles, and I just think it's such a pretty, pretty color story. I've fallen in love with blues, and I loved the looks I created with this. And I actually haven't shared those yet on my Instagram, but I really need to do that soon. Next up, we have one of my favorite brands, and that is Sydney Grace. And we have the Mountain Trail palette. And this has the most beautiful greens in here and yellows. And it's kind of that like grungy, murky, green, yellow, antique gold shades. And it is so beautiful. Sydney Grace is my most consistent brand, eyeshadow brand formula. Like, no matter what, my looks are so good with Sydney Grace. Like, I never have any issues. I always love it. So say I have like a date night, or just like, hey, I don't have time to think like what palette I'm going to use. If it's going to look good, I'm grabbing Sydney Grace like 9 out of 10 times, maybe 8 out of 10, but so good. And I also included the In Memory of Mel, her take on the Natasha Denona palette. And I made 2 palettes, Z palettes, with the shades, and I love like the way that I laid these out too. It makes sense to me. So I did 2 different ones, and I've been loving them. Again, so consistent. I love that Sydney Grace paid the homage to Mel, got the permission from her family to do that. And that was definitely a favorite in 2022. Next, we have the Luna Magic Besnuda palette. So Luna Magic is such a good and underrated brand. It's an affordable brand. It's an Afro-Latina co-owned brand. They were on Shark Tank years ago, and they got into Walmart, and now they're in Target and CVS. They have stuff on their own site as well. And this palette is like my look with it was one of my favorite looks I did all of 2022. I mean, it was stunning. The shimmers in here are great. The mattes are really nice too. And I just thought the color story was the perfect fall color story. And I think this is only $13 or $14. So you guys, I love their lashes too. Definitely keep your eyes peeled for Luna Magic. Next, we have the Soulmane Oden's Eye palette. And I'm sure if I would have gotten the Christmas palettes, they would have been in my top. I know that was a lot of people's #1 palettes, but I did not get that because I was sort of on a no-buy that I've sort of cheated on a little bit. But I was trying to be selective, and this palette, you guys, is so beautiful. I use this for my birthday look, for my birthday dinner with my friends. And like, oh my gosh, that blue and like the purple kind of like tone to it and the shimmer, it was so gorgeous. It was so easy to do. It packs such a punch. And I mean, Oden's Eye is just, it's one of my favorite eyeshadow formulas as well. There's so many different textures. The pigmentation is amazing. And then the cover art is also so gorgeous. Next, we have the It's Bel Cosmetics Cool Summer Palette. So look how pretty this is. Like, this is summer, summer, summer to me. And It's Belle, I mean, that's another one. Keep your eyes open. Like, the formula is so beautiful. These shimmers in here are just absolutely gorgeous. So pretty. And I also love that this is owned by a Latina-owned woman. She's so sweet and she's so pretty as well. She does beautiful looks too. So It's Belle, definitely one to keep your eye on. All right, I had to include the Tarte Maneater After Dark palette. This palette blew me away. Like, I didn't think I could get passionate about a mainstream brand eyeshadow palette because I'm so indie brand focused. And I had started to get really into Tarte's face products this year. I mean, I have so many favorites from them now. I think I'm going to do a best of Tarte video soon. But whenever this came out, I was like, that color story is gorgeous. And then I was like, you know what? Like, the outer packaging, everything's like, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get it. I did not expect it to be as good as it is. I mean, I was like, I'm going to judge this against my indie brand. And like, it's up there. It really, really is up there. I think this is the best mainstream eyeshadow palette I've ever used. And a lot of people didn't get it because they're like, it looks huge. It's really not that big. I mean, here's my hand. That's not that big. It just appeared to be huge in pictures and promos. Gorgeous, gorgeous packaging. One of the best palettes of 2022. Absolutely. All right. Then we have this little 6-pan from Colored Raine, the Queen Bee palette. You guys, this palette is absolutely stunning. We have a duochrome in here. You have buttery pigmented mattes. This shimmer in here is also so gorgeous. And I mean, Colored Raine, I liked anyway, the Queen of Hearts palette. And I'm telling you, this is the best 6-pan that I own. The quality is phenomenal, very affordable as well. And if you want to try out, it also has this cool, like, it looks like it's flying. Look at that. So freaking cool. The lipsticks that came with this were also amazing. Pair perfectly with the palette. If you want to try out Colored Raine, that is the one that I recommend. Next up, we have 2 Lunar Beauty palettes. Lunar Beauty is one of my absolute favorite brands, and it's one that I collect. Like, anything that comes out, I'm going to get. There's only one palette I don't have. So let's start with the Nude Prism palette first, because it came out first. This is your perfect nude palette. Like, this is a wedding palette if I've ever seen one. Like, any bride, perfect for wedding day. It's subtle, it's beautiful, it's blendable, it's buildable. Not the most pigmented ever, but it builds up so nicely. And these shimmers are so soft and squishy and beautiful, flattering on the eyes. Don't show texture. It is just so beautiful. Also, you guys, if you heard a lot of background noise, my kids are being wild and crazy, and I asked for quiet for a little bit. did not happen. But then we have the Lunar Beauty. This is their Christmas holiday palette. Now, okay, I reviewed this and like, I have a whole review if you want to go see that video. This palette does not match the outside at all. I still have a theory that maybe he meant for this to be a fall release, that it just didn't come in time. So he tried to salvage it by making it a Christmas holiday palette. I'm not sure. That's just a theory, but I ended up not caring because the quality of this is absolutely amazing. Maybe the best quality of any of the Lunar Beauty palettes. Stunning, stunning shimmers. The mattes were gorgeous, and I love this color story. It's just not a winter color story, but that is fine by me. If it's going to perform like this, I don't mind. Also, you guys, my voice is shot. I was sick for 6 weeks, got a little bit better for like a week and a half, and it's back again. So excuse my voice. All right, then we have these two by Simply Posh Cosmetics. I love Simply Posh so much. If you guys have not tried them, let me just show you. So I'm going to show you the Fairies palette first because it came out first in the summer, beginning of summer, I believe. How beautiful is this? I mean, it has pastels, it has the greens. If you look just on this row, it's got the deeper shades here, and then you've got the shimmers that go with each of the vertical rows, and then the more pastels here. A little bit heavier green leaning, but the quality is so there with Simply Posh. And I mean, the mattes are so pigmented and they're not patchy. The shimmers are shifty, duochromes, really well priced as well. And then we also have the Genuine Gems palette here. And this is just a like jewel tone lover's dream. I mean, look at how that shines. Like it feels so luxurious, and it has some grungy tones in here, and then your jewel tones as well. And just the quality is amazing. If you have not tried Simply Posh, you're really missing out. And they're starting to get bigger and bigger, which makes me really happy for them. And it's a Texas owned brand as well. All right, next, this is one that did not come out last year. It came out in 2021, but I tried it last year. It is the Mariposa palette by Melt. You guys, I don't know why anyone gave this a bad review. There were a few out there, and then there were rave reviews. This palette blew me away. It is so pretty, and I think this is one that kind of works year round. A lot of people think of it as spring, but like I see all seasons in here, and it is just, the quality is so beautiful. Melt, I know, can be all over the board. I really love the Gemini palette myself, and this one just performed so well. My looks with it were outstanding. I love the outside packaging of this as well. It's kind of raised. It's beautiful. Another Latina owned brand. We love to see it. All right, then we have, I should just save these for last because we have Adept, and Adept is my 2022 favorite new brand that I tried. Love so much. And I have 3 palettes, but I just included the Nahindran and the Mika palette. And the Nahindran I got first, and you guys, these are shimmers like no other shimmers you've ever tried. They are so glistening, vibrant, shifty, sparkly, gorgeous. And I mean, with the Minka palette, these here, I have never ever in my life tried shimmers like this before, the metallics. People are like, oh, that's glitter though, right? I'm like, no, it's not glitter. It's just that sparkly, but it's smooth, no fallout all over your face. Adept is the one that I added to my list as a brand to collect from now on. The face palettes, I do have 2 of those. They are incredible as well. I'm telling you, if you have not tried them, you have to in 2023. Just believe me, it may ruin you though. You may think everything else is subpar after that. I'm just warning you. Next, we have 2 from Gourmande Girls. I love Gourmande Girls. I love Christina, the owner. She's a friend of mine. She's so special to my heart. And we have this ethereal palette here. This was an all shimmer duo multi-chrome palette, and it came out in the summer as well. and it's just beautiful. It's so stunning. The formula in here is amazing. The quality really, really went up with Gourmande Girls in the spring and summer with the Radioactive palette, the Ethereal palette, and then with the Spooked palette, which was the best of all of the holiday palettes. Holiday palettes, the spooky season palettes. This is the #1 best. It was so good. Like this pink in here, this shade was so beautiful for like a fall look. You have a shifty orange and green here. So beautiful. I absolutely love this palette. You can do so many things with it. It was a fall and spooky season, you know, color story. Gourmande Girls is amazing. You guys definitely, like, you're giving your money to one of the kindest people also, which is so good to know. Okay. Then we have two from Blend Bunny. We have the Dollhouse and the Primal palette. So Dollhouse came first. It came at the very beginning of the year. I took this on a trip, and a short trip for my anniversary last year. And I mean, it's just one, like, it's a perfect trip palette because it's nothing too crazy. You've got lots of neutrals in here, but you have some pops of color. If you haven't tried Blend Bunny, their mattes are like the best. It is so hard to beat their mattes. Their shimmers are also really good, just not like, I wouldn't say they're my favorite shimmers. Seriously, you put these mattes with an Adept shimmer, and that's the most, that's like the all-time. Like that would be the Acme pinnacle epitome of a perfect palette. So this one is excellent if you want just a tiny dab in color, but you really like neutrals. So good. Then Primal is definitely more for the color lovers out there. Stunning saturated colors. And it's not just your typical rainbow palette because there's different tones in here. And then you always see, you have some of the lighter kind of pastels in here. But then you also have these more primary colors. The shimmers in here, I love the red. I've used this red several times. And then I love the white and the black, and that's used to make different gradients to, you know, you could mix red with the white to make your own pink shade. The black will smoke it out. It's just, it is a perfect palette to have in your collection. Then we have 3 Nomad palettes. And yes, I included 3. I didn't include them all though. I left a few out from 2022. So we have the, let's do them in order. We have the Paradise Islands palette. It came out first in the spring, but obviously supposed to be kind of a spring summer palette. This was a favorite, like overall, of Nomad for me because I'm a tropical girl. I love the sunshine. I love the beach. And like, this was just so pretty. And it was still cold whenever it got sent to me by Nomad. And I was like, can I go be on a tropical beach somewhere? Great quality. I thought the mattes in here were outstanding. You have some deeper shades in here, warm tones, cool tones. Beautiful, beautiful formula. But there was something about the Monteverde palette, this Costa Rica inspired palette, the rainforest. Something about this formula, I mean, maybe it was the same, but I just thought it was so good. Like the mattes were excellent, super pigmented and buttery. And oh gosh, this shade in here is so, so pretty. What's it called? River Trail. I love that shade because I've fallen in love with like blues, and it has a pretty like silvery shift in it. Outstanding, very colorful. So if you're scared of color, then this Hudson Valley is a gorgeous fall palette. And the theming was excellent on this, like Sleepy Hollow, all those like festival things you find in fall. And it's just so rich in color, but you also have cool and warm tones in here, kind of grungy too. Absolutely beautiful palettes from Nomad in 2022. Now the last 2 I kind of have to count as honorable mentions because technically I've only tried them once, but okay, Pat McGrath. I own 8 of the motherships, actually have Subliminal on the way. I ordered it from the sale. So I own all but 1. And so Utopian Dream, okay. This, I've only used it once, but like I said, I have 8 motherships. I also have the 2 holiday big mega motherships. So I have 10 Pat McGrath palettes. I kind of know the formula, like if I'm going to like it or not like it. Not all motherships are created equal in my mind. So I know the good ones. And this is like the best just by trying it one time. So that's why I'm like, it's going to be at my top. I love Pat McGrath. And I used the shimmer on there that shifts from like a purple, pink, green. I mean, I didn't even really have to turn my head for you to see it. So beautiful, stunning, stunning, stunning look. It's one of those that like, if you just put that on, people are going to think like you're a pro at your makeup. Like, how'd she do that? It's just the magic of the special shades that Pat McGrath has. And yes, like I know because Subversive and Divine Rose 2 and Bronze Seduction are my other two favorites. I think this one's even better, and I love those palettes, so I think I can safely say it was a favorite. It also came out in 2021, though. Last, we have the Cosmic Brushes Serenity palette, and I'm putting this in here, even though I've only used it once, but it was one of the best reviewed palettes of 2022. Like, everybody raved about it that tried it. I didn't see one mediocre review, and I mean, my one try at it, I was like, I get it. It's so good. So, I mean, I can tell. I can tell because I love the color story. The quality is there. I know formulas now. Like, I know if I'm going to like it or not. And this formula is amazing. And I'm obsessed with the color story. Gorgeous blues and greens in here. I even love this pop of orange that kind of seems out of place, but I think it like takes it to a cool place for summer as well, popping that orange in. And yeah, like this brand, this was also affordable. So I'm really excited to see what she comes out with in 2023. And you guys, that was it. That is my, not ranking, but my top 23 palettes of 2022. And I'm so excited to see what all comes out in 2023, but I'm still trying to be good, not buy everything. And just, it has to be a brand that I collect already, or a brand that's on my list that I've been dying to try, or just something that blows my socks off. Otherwise, I'm not going to get it. So let me know if these were any of your favorites, or if you want to try any of these out. Let's have a wonderful, balanced, and relaxing 2023. As always, have fun shopping, budget shopping. Bye.